podcast. Welcome to Nyangath's interview. Today, I'm gonna deep dive into Nyangath's life, on how she got here, what she's doing, and where she wants to go with her life. And if you are also interested in being a model or want to take this type of route, this is the type of person you want to talk to, get into contact with her, So yeah, why don't we start off? So why don't you explain who you are and what you do?
So I am Nyangath Lual. I am 20 years old and I'm a professional international model. So I model internationally around 5 different countries around the world. And I got into it, when I first started, it was in New York City alone, and I was a commercial model. But then I got my big break, got 2 big runway shows back to back, and I've really just been high fashion ever since. Nice to meet y'all.
Thank you very much, Nyangath.
No problem.
I really appreciate that.
Anytime.
Wow, you said high fashion. What can you give us a little bit more insight on high fashion? What does that mean?
So high fashion pretty much means like So at first when I started, I was working with commercials. So that means brands like Target, brands like Walmart, pretty much brands like your everyday brands that will, they pay, not gonna lie. Commercial brands is where most of, models get their income. But I moved over to high fashion, which means brands like, Burberry, Off-White, you're really like YSL, Bottega, those higher up brands. And I started working with major fashion houses when I was 18 years old. And so that transition was really interesting because high fashion, there's a lot more competition. It's really, really stiff. It's really hard to make it. All you can do really is just pray and, put your best foot forward in every situation. So I'm thankful that I got to have the opportunity to become a high fashion model, but I do miss my commercial days because it's so relaxed. When you do commercial, you literally just show up. Everyone's like, how are you doing? Here's some food, here's some this. Like, put some clothes on, we'll take some photos. You just do whatever to make it look like you're having fun. And so I love that. Whereas high fashion is very serious, very cutthroat, very even when you have a high fashion face, it's straightforward. But yeah, I do love high fashion.
Thanks for that insight. I didn't even know what that was, to be honest.
I got you.
So did you always knew that you were gonna be a model growing up since you were a kid, or is this something new?
3,000%. Simon knows this. He is my big brother, in case we didn't preface. We grew up exactly the whole way up. And when I was younger, I would always steal everybody's phone, right? And I would make all these videos, and I would vlog, and I would always pose. And I was such a sassy little diva child. And, I would watch America's Next Top Model with my sisters, and I'm like, one day I'm gonna be a model. Actually, no, I never even said that. I used to just say I was a model. I would just say I was a model. There was never any I'm gonna be a model one day. I would always say I already am a model. And I said it, my friends would always refer to me as a model. Then that one time when I did that runway in 6th grade.
That 6th grade?
Yeah, that was crazy.
I don't really remember that much, to be honest.
No, you remember when your Tam, our older sisters, took me to New York to do this runway competition?
Oh yeah, I do remember that
for Kids
now.
Fashion Democracy. Remember that time?
Mm-hmm,
that was my only modeling experience for my entire life up until high school.
How old were you?
I was 12.
12 years old.
12. And that one runway experience, I was saying, I'm a model for the rest of my life. And I've never did anything else besides that. But I felt it in my soul. I was like, I know I'm a model. I am a model. And
So you've been doing this for 8 years. You so then started to 12 all the way until 20 years. 20 years old.
That one day I did that runway. Yeah, I guess you can say I was professional ever since I was 12. But no, it was COVID time when. Actually, that's a whole story in itself. We'll get around to that a little later.
Okay. Mm-hmm. My goodness. What I'm surprised about right now.
Yeah.
What made you know that you wanted to be a model, and what made you just why did this was so why was it so found to you? What made you attracted to this so much?
I genuinely think when God has a vision for you, He will not let you go. He won't let you release it. It's impossible. No matter how hard and how often I felt that's such an unrealistic dream. That's so random. That's just. I'm in Minnesota, for Pete's sake.
Yeah.
What the hell am I gonna do talking about being a model and whatnot? But I could not. I felt it. It was in my spirit. It was entwined in my soul. I feel like God gave me that vision. And I never questioned it. It was never any is it even possible? I didn't care about how I was gonna get there. I didn't care about how it was gonna happen. I just knew it was going to happen, and I I lived every day knowing that. I put on my wall, like my little vision board. Yeah, so I knew it would happen. It wasn't by accident. And I think because of that, like I feel like that vision, I put all my little decisions kind of set me up for this lifestyle, you know? And like it set me up. I made sure I was able to receive the blessings just simply by living every single day, like the small decisions.
Those small decisions do go crazy.
I swear, the little things. Whew. Forget the big
little
picture. Little steps.
Yeah, little steps is what makes you get to your goals.
They add up. Yeah. Even a little something every day, just a little tweak. You know, just one step forward. If you can see the next step, that's all you need. That is all you need.
So how did you set yourself up to be in this situation?
That's crazy. So, you know, I feel like a big part of it was school. This is actually so interesting.
Tell me about it.
So, I was such a brainiac kid. You know this.
Yeah.
You remember? I was obsessed.
Yeah, I do. You were obsessed with school.
School was my everything. Like I was like, I loved going to school. I loved learning. I loved being like doing homework. I thought all of it was so like aesthetic. I thought I was living like a movie. And I knew since 6th grade that my dream school was NYU.
NYU, okay.
New York University. And I was like, no matter what, I'm going to set myself up to be able to get into New York University. I'm granted in middle school I hated school, but I knew it didn't count towards my transcript. It wasn't important.
I can't see you hating school, just like growing up with you and stuff like that. I felt
I hated middle school.
I feel like you were really getting into it, you know?
Yeah, I was. When I got in high school.
So tell me about. Do you write stuff down? Do you like make sure you put it on a calendar, or like what type of stuff did you do to make sure you got to your goals? You know.
So thank you for rerouting me back to that question. So when I was in high school, I was like, okay, so I want to get into NYU. So in order to do that, it's a competitive school. I gotta have good grades, and not just good grades. I gotta have all the extracurriculars. You know what I mean? And so I was making sure I was starting clubs with all my friends. I was making sure I was joining sports. I was making sure I was doing this, that. I was in college classes as well, the high school classes.
Wow.
And I was just being extra. I remember at one point though, I was so busy that I would get home every day by 10 p.m. I'd do homework for like 4 hours, and then I'd go to sleep for like 2 hours, wake up at 6 again, go to school, go to school, then I would go to the cheer club, and then I would go to my K-pop dance club, and then I would go to work. And then that's if I had college that day. I was doing
how many extracurricular activities were you in?
I literally got double the amount of English credits. I got double the amount of electives needed to graduate.
Wow.
I got like plus I was like all the requirements to graduate. I surpassed all of them.
Wow.
But like it was crazy. I was doing everything and I refused.
Wow.
I refused. I was like, I'm going to get into this NYU school because I knew I wanted to move to New York, right? In order to model, gotta be in New York.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, let me get through in school and study while also being a model. So I did get into NYU. Surprisingly, I was shocked because COVID hit, and I kind of relaxed a lot. You know.
Yeah, because what's their acceptance rate? Isn't it like 16% to get into NYU?
It was 12. No, it was either 12 or 8% the year I got in.
So 12% of people who applied there got in. Out of the however many people applied, only 12% got in.
Yeah.
Wow, and you're one of them.
God willing. I like to think it was God because so many little things had to happen for me to get in.
Yeah.
Because even though I was doing extracurriculars, like I knew I still had to get the SAT in, right? I can't standardize tests. I have to study. Like I'm not a naturally smart person. I have to study for topics heavily so I can understand them.
Wow.
So not like the standardized tests, I got no type of like knowledge from things I learned like months and months ago. I'm gonna forget it. If it ain't me learning it now, it's not in my brain. So I knew I was gonna fail the SAT, and I did. But
you failed the SAT?
I failed the SAT heavily. It was horrible. My score was so low, and that's because I'm a slow test taker. The parts I did get to, I passed them with like flying colors. But every section, I only got halfway through. And so.
Oh wow.
You know. And so, anyways, but that year because of COVID, no one had to submit the SATs.
Oh, so you kind of got like a free pass?
I got a free pass. So they only looked at my grades and extracurriculars.
Oh my God.
Everything happened for a reason.
Oh my
To the
goodness.
T. God was setting up all the little blocks. He said, I'm going to make sure you get in, sweetheart. Don't worry about it.
Wow.
So the one thing that would have stopped me.
So COVID helped you in a way.
COVID helped me in a way. The one thing that would have stopped me was no, don't worry about it. You don't need it.
So did you take your ACT then or not?
ACT, SAT, both of them not needed.
So you didn't have
I
to.
didn't even take.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's
I got
crazy.
in. Thank you. And I loved it.